Hello and welcome to TBC News today on the 30th of January 2023. And first a look at our headlines tonight. Tanzania to host the 77th African Commission on Human and People's Rights meeting. Government allocates 3 billion shillings for youth involvement in agriculture. Good evening once again. I'm Agnes Tuniga and thank you very much for joining us tonight. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBConline, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages at TBConline. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has accepted the request made by the chairman of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Professor Remi Lumbu, to ask Tanzania to host the 77th meeting that will include member countries of the Commission, which is expected to be held in October this year. Professor Lumbu began the meeting by praising the various measures taken by the government, including freedom of expression, where various groups have been given the opportunity to express themselves, including political groups. He also spoke on the issue of freedom of the media, which seems to be improving with various efforts made in promoting the use of the Kiswahili language. The government, through the Agriculture Input Fund, has allocated 3 billion shillings for the implementation of the agenda to introduce youth into the agricultural business. The initiative is also expected to help solve the challenge of employment amongst youth. Here's the report by Henry Mabumo, read by Apasia Ringo.
Wakiapply tunawachukua tunawapeleka kwenye vituo maalum, tuna centers of excellence.
If they apply, we take them and send them to centers of excellence where they will be taught for a period of 4 months. Once they are trained, we are going to give them pieces of land not exceeding 4 acres with the title deeds of 16 years.
Tunaweka miundombinu yote, kama ni mbegu itatakiwa ya alizeti atapata.
We are putting in the infrastructure like seeds and extension services because they expect land, capital, farms, so they get rid of opium farming as a punishment. In 3 or 4 months, the president expects to launch the first block farm in the Dodoma region.
The second Africa Food Summit in Senegal ended on Friday with development partners agreeing to commit $30 billion to back the continent's resolve to boost agriculture productivity and become a breadbasket for the world. Here's Faithangaga with some key issues agreed in the meeting.
The meeting was organized by the African Development Bank, AFDB, in collaboration with host country Senegal under the leadership of Mr. Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal and the Chairman of the African Union. The theme of the meeting was Feed Africa, Food Sovereignty and Resilience. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan informed the members of the meeting that Tanzania has set a goal to achieve agricultural growth of 10% by 2030. It was stated that the African continent has many opportunities for agricultural sector, including suitable land for producing food crops to meet the needs of Africa and surplus to be sold to other countries in the world. 65% of land suitable for agriculture in the world has not been used, and in the case of Tanzania, it is approximately 24% of the land suitable for agriculture that has not been used. To achieve these goals, the political will and readiness of the government is needed. After this important meeting for Africa, Tanzania is ready to take action. Faithangaga, TBC News.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Dr. Stergomena Tax, has reaffirmed that Tanzania is safe. Dr. Tax stated that while meeting ambassadors representing various countries to Tanzania.
Madhumuni nimekutana nao asubuhi hii. Tumezungumza vizuri kabisa.
We met and discussed, and the purpose was to assure them that our country is completely safe and there are no security problems. Also, we thank all those who continued with their activities regardless of the tragedy that happened. All embassies could have been closed and prevented their people from coming to Tanzania. As a country, we have procedures for making any communication, so those procedures should be observed. I would like to assure all Tanzanians and the whole world that Tanzania is safe, there are no unusual threats, and there is no chaos in our country.
Naomba tu niwahakikishie Watanzania wote na dunia nzima kwamba Tanzania ni salama.
The meeting follows the recent security alert given by the American Embassy in Tanzania to warn on locations frequented by the U.S. citizens and other Westerners in Dar es Salaam and elsewhere in Tanzania to be attractive targets to terrorists planning to conduct attacks. A day after the release of Form 4 results, education stakeholders have expressed their opinions on National Examination Council of Tanzania, NECTA, suspending the procedure of announcing the best schools and students nationally. They say this will boost morale of students and make them focus on competence in their studies rather than examination results and improve overall good performance among schools and students.
I like the decision. The decision is very fair. You know, ranking students was good to some extent, but it has a lot of adverse effects. You are ranking people of different environment. They are studying at different environments. You are ranking the schools of different environment of teaching and learning. In fact, the ranking was not doing justice to some students. It was actually like making bullying to some students. You see, there are some students have got difficulties in their education efforts, in their efforts to get education.
Rankings advantages, if I may start, so it keeps the system alive. People do compete, everyone wants to perform better so that they are superior than the other. So that is one of the advantages of the rankings. But it also have disadvantages because it puts teachers, students, and the school administrators into pressure to pass examinations at the detriment of learning the skills and also building the capacities of students in terms of innovation, capabilities, skills.
Regarding the plan on improving education system in Tanzania, they expect to have a great syllabus after the reform made by the government that will build skilled and confident students.
Is completed. We shall observe our student being competent. When you have the graduates who are competent, who can do things on the ground, who don't get A's for the sake of getting A's, but once they go in the field, once they go in the labor market, they are not capable of competing. They are not capable of doing things. Then that education, even if you rank them, they cannot be international. But once you have the products, you have the students who can compete in all international forums, then that product comes from an education system which can compete.
Kind of like we should reform our education somehow. So by disemphasizing on standardized tests and examinations, and also focus on how we can build the student skills and attitudes that are necessary or needed in the international job market.
The Minister of Economic Affairs of Finland, Ika Lintilä, says that investors in his country are ready to cooperate with Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, to increase economic investments in Tanzania. The Finnish minister and his delegation were on visit to Tanzania Investment Center and held discussion on potential areas for investments in the country varying from natural resources, agriculture, mining, education and vocational training.
Companies are really front runner in cooperation, and our role is support the investments and help the licenses and so on and so on. And we have same kind of situation in Finland like you have here in Tanzania. The private public sector must be very tight, and I think that in Finland we manage it quite well on that sector, and maybe we can help you to more on that sector also. So this is some kind of win-win situation. Not yet. Actually, we have a few companies which are very interesting about green transition and energy sector. You have mining sector here.
We have touched upon many potential sectors where we would be able to give something, knowledge, products from Finland, and those vary. So we need to look where we can find the best opportunities and cooperation. But just to name a few, it would definitely be the digitalization, of which Finland is already present here in Tanzania. It would be the area of natural resources, forestry, also agriculture. That is something that we have. And a specific sector where we are strong in is the sector of education.
Speaking after the meeting, the acting executive director of TIC, John Mnali, says Finland is interested to invest in the mentioned areas because Tanzanian government has created conducive environment for foreign investments which accommodates various investors.
Indicated the interest to mobilize investors from Finland to come to Tanzania to invest in the area of green energy, in the area of mining, in the energy, in the area of forestry and establishment of engineered wood products, and in the area of education and vocational training. So we expect the Finnish government will be able to mobilize the private sector from Finland to come to Tanzania, and then the Finnish companies will be able to establish in these various investment opportunities available in Tanzania.
The Chinese embassy in Tanzania says Tanzania remains one of the most favorite destinations for the Chinese tourists. Nasa Kingu reports.
Tanzania is famous for your beautiful landscape and rich biodiversity. Mount Kilimanjaro, Serengeti National Park, the Zanzibar are well known in China.
That is Charge d'Affaires and Minister Consular Chinese Embassy to Tanzania, Mr. Su Peng, who reaffirms that Tanzania remains to be one of the most favorite destinations for Chinese tourists. He also calls for more cooperation between Tanzanian tourist agencies and the Chinese ones.
You know, Tanzania remains one of the most attractive, one of the most popular destinations for Chinese tourists in Africa. My suggestion is the Tanzania travel agencies do more promotion in China. Like the Chinese tourists know Tanzania, be interested in Tanzania and love Tanzania. I believe more and more Chinese tourists will come to Tanzania.
Mr. Suo outlines that the weekly direct flight from Tanzania to China, which will be doubled in few coming days, has facilitated an increase of Chinese tourists to Tanzania.
Right now, we have a direct passenger flight by Air Tanzania, has been operating smoothly since last July. The number of this flight is planning to increase from once a week to twice a week, which is very good news for the Chinese tourists in the future.
He also urges the Tanzania business community to take advantage of what China can offer to promote the businesses. He mentions China Import and Expo Fair, China and Africa Economic and Trade Fair, East China Import and Expo Commodity Fair to be among the conducive platforms to market Tanzanian products and do business exchange in China.
So it is hope that the Tanzania business circle could seize the opportunity in the future, could make good use of the open platform such as CIIE, the China International Import Expo, such as China Africa Economic and Trade Expo, which located in Changsha, such as the Quantum Fair, to better promote the export from Tanzania to China.
The United Nations estimate for the end of 2022 still shows China to be the most populous nation in the world, with more than 1.4 billion people. Taking advantage of this most populous country can boost the tourism industry to many folds.
A lot to do in the future, both officially between government to government and private to private. For example, do more promotion, improve the infrastructure, for example, to develop or offer some special tourism travel routes for Chinese group, etc.
Nasa Kingu, TBC News.
The Minister for Land, Housing and Human Settlement, Dr. Angelina Mabula, says the provision of training and formalization of real estate brokers will boost their business and contribute to the country's economic growth. She was opening special training for the real estate brokers in Dar es Salaam. She insisted that the government will continue to provide its cooperation in improving the sector.
The Ministry for Land promises to show high cooperation in order to make sure the real estate sector is improved. The step you have taken to teach youth entrepreneurs will build their capacity and it will build confidence within them. They will also be trusted by the society, unlike now, where they are not trusted as such. However, by providing them with a special training, the society can now fully trust them.
Dr. Mabula directed the brokers to ensure that they offer their services with properties that are legal and lands are assessed in order to avoid unnecessary conflicts with their clients.
It is important for real estate brokers to sell plots of land that are officially recognized. The Ministry for Lands insists that the real estate brokers have to conduct their business in officially recognized areas. When areas are not recognized, problems usually arise.
The acting rector, Professor Eda Luoga, and the deputy rector for the College of Business Education said that the inauguration of the real estate brokers training for the first time in that college will help them to do work more efficiently.
First host this workshop. As we all know that real estate agents and brokers is a sector that has not been regulated for the past many years. But currently we have just started this workshop to build the professional skill of this sector so that they can learn and also they will be able to work professionally and be able to do it as the way it's required by the profession. And second, we know that the ministry is also working now very hard in order to have the act that will regulate this sector.
Some of the issues that will be covered in this particular training include issues of ethics in real estate issues, but also negotiation and communication skills, as well as digital skills that can help them undertake their responsibilities in a more effective manner. The College of Business Education is partnering with the real estate agents on behalf of the Minister of Land and Settlement and Human Settlement.
The Geita Regional Commissioner, Martin Shigella, says journalists have a wide scope and understanding of various issues, which makes them effective and meticulous in executing duties assigned. He made the remarks while swearing in the newly appointed Chato, Geita and Nyang'hwale District Commissioners. The Nyang'hwale District Commissioner is a journalist who worked for the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, before the appointment. Here's the report by Nazareth Ndekia, read by Faithangaga.
Mimi, Grace Henry Kingalame.
I, Grace Henry Kingalame, swear that I will faithfully serve the United Republic of Tanzania and its president as the Nyang'hwale District Commissioner and wherever I am assigned.
The newly appointed District Commissioner, who is a journalist who previously worked for the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, and now she is a new Nyang'hwale District Commissioner. And other new Chato and Geita District Commissioners all have asked for the cooperation of other political leaders and citizens.
It has pleased God for me to serve you, and I will do so fully. I ask for your cooperation so we can work together to achieve the goals and vision of our nation.
Niko hapa kwa ajili ya kumshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Rais.
I am very grateful to the Honorable President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for believing in me and appointing me as the Chato District Commissioner.
Sana Mheshimiwa Rais Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan.
I am very grateful to the Honorable President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for appointing me as the District Commissioner. And I look forward to working with other District Commissioners and government leaders in saving Tanzania.
The task for District Commissioners is the implementation of the ruling party CCM manifesto by facilitating development to the Tanzanians.
Kwa ujumla wake kazi kubwa tunazokimbia nazo hivi sasa.
In general, they should put more efforts on preparing for the implementations of the CCM elections. As the regional secretariat, I promise to provide cooperation to all district commissioners.
We believe that you will work with the citizens in bringing development by eliminating the problems facing the citizens.
And then the Regional Commissioner of Geita, Martin Shigella, spoke after the district heads took the oath.
I really congratulate the President. She's hardworking and humble. A journalist examines every neon sign and understands its meaning, even without being familiar with the field. And that is the main characteristic of a journalist.
The main responsibility of the district commissioners is to manage administrative activities, the administration of laws and procedures, and to ensure safety and security issues within their districts.
That item concludes local news tonight. International news is up next. With Nasa Kingo.
The Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation in Namibia, in conjunction with Southern Africa Development Community SADC, is hosting extraordinary SADC Organ Troika Summit and a ministerial committee of the organ meeting in Windhoek. Meetings focus on region's political and security situation. SADC Organ and Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation was established in 2001 as a SADC institution charged with promoting peace and security in the region. The organ is governed on a troika basis and is coordinated at summit level with a chairperson, an incoming chairperson, an outgoing chairperson, all the heads of state reporting to the SADC summit. The Democratic Republic of Congo DRC forces have launched operation to retake the strategic town of Kitshanga in eastern DRC. The town was taken by M23 rebels on Thursday last week after days of fierce fighting. Regional leaders brokered an agreement last November for rebels to withdraw from the region by mid-January. At least 48 people have been killed and 150 injured in a bombing at a mosque in Pakistan's city of Peshawar. A section of the building was destroyed, and officials say people are buried under the rubble. Most of those who died were part of the police force, and it is believed that they were the target of the attack. The Taliban group claims responsibility of the attack.
And that was international news. Sports news is up next. And here is Mario Cheto with sports news.
Clubs and regional associations to organize swimming competitions to prepare quality players who will be nominated for swimming national team ready to participate in international competition in 2023. TSA chairman revealed that strong and competitive swimming clubs and regional competition are key to get quality swimmers who can compete in international games and win medals for their nation.
Yeah, they have to believe in themselves. They have to believe believe the cause and that they can achieve more, they can get their times, and and coaches, clubs who are having swimmers, if they can enroll more swimmers, parents who are looking where the kids can be active, it's in the water, which is a good sport for all in terms of healthy and the mental.
According to TSA calendar for 2023, the selection of swimming national team, which will participate in the African swimming to be held in Sudan in July, will take place in Dar es Salaam in June this year. Magnet Chairman Tuntufia Mambusi has asked the parent, sports stakeholders and the government to continue supporting sports centers by providing them with sports gears so that they can produce quality players for future national teams in their country. Speaking with the TBC News, Magnet Chairman Mambusi says Tanzania have many young talented soccer players, but they have to be provided with the sports facilities to nurture their talent for the betterment of nation.
Because when we educate youth, when we give youth, we say youth are the arrow of the nation. So today we talk about the population of Tanzania, majority are the youth. Where are they going? What are the future that hold for them? And these are the people who love football. And we say Tanzania is a football nation. And if it's a football nation, how are we support, from the coaching part of it, okay, where you need to build the capacity for the coaches, having those coaches with a clear understanding of the youth programs. How are we going to support it? These are the things that we need to work very close with our international partner.
Magnet Soccer Academy have already produced 17 players showcasing their talent in Championship League, playing with the African Lion, and they are second at the league table. 25 models have been selected to showcase their talent during the Lady in Red show, which will take place on February 11th in Dar es Salaam. Speaking after displaying their skills in front of judges during the model casting held in Dar es Salaam over the weekend, models says they will use Lady in Red platform to promote Tanzania traditional attire through clothes at international levels.
I know we have great designers, and I just thank God and to be lucky to be here, to be selected, to be one of the models, especially being a plus-size model. In this industry, it's really huge and different. Just trust God, put effort, don't say that I will always fail. No, just be courageous and stand up every time you fall.
Lady in Red show will take place on 11th of February in Dar es Salaam, whereby international musicians will perform as a surprise package to the modeling fans. Mario Cheto, TBC News.
With that item, we have come to the end of our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Agnes Tuniga, and thank you very much for watching. Good night.